Only when we reach the state of perfect, complete enlightenment will we possess the ability to help all sentient beings. So the first vow is our original vow, while the following three help us to accomplish the first. To generate the vows, but not to cultivate to meet them, will be futile. Cultivation and vows complement each other. As long as we work diligently, never regress, and generate the vow to reach the state of perfect, complete enlightenment, we will attain the Dharma, joy. In our past lives, too innumerable to count, we have indulged our bad habits. Today, awakened beings have taught us how to cut off these bad habits. But this is so difficult for us to do. Most of us think it is very difficult to break the habits of a lifetime. But we need to break the habits of uncountable lifetimes. Remember that this is a process. Once we break through our bad habits, our cultivation will become easier and smoother. Then we can fulfill our vows. Then we can go to the Western Pure Land, and from there we can return and help all sentient beings. Recently, some people came to Master and asked him how they could be confident that they would go to the Western Pure Land. He asked them if they were sure they could go in this lifetime. They honestly shook their heads and said no. Master could not say so either, because to do so, there are two requirements. The first is to have unwavering belief and vows. The second is to let go of all desires, good or bad. We cannot go to the Pure Land if we have not met these two requirements, if we have not yet let go. We cannot let go because we are still clinging to something. Find it. We must find it. If we cannot, then even if we are born into the highest level of heaven, where we will live through 80,000 cycles of creation, existence, complete annihilation of our world, and emptiness, we will still be mired, still be lost in the 6 cycles of reincarnation. What can we do? Find out what we are clinging to and let go. Let go of all attachments. Let go of all feelings of gain and loss. Let go of all discriminatory and wandering thoughts. Let go of the thought of how others treat us. Let go of the thought of those we owe, of those who owe us. Only with purity of mind can we let go. And only then can we definitely go to the Pure Land. If we cannot do this, then we are truly lost. For our belief, our vows are not strong enough. No matter how many times we are mindful of Amitabha, we will be unable to go to the Pure Land. for we are still clinging to one of the 5 desires of wealth, lust, fame, food or drink, and sleep, still discriminating between what we perceive as right or wrong. Greed for these will lead us into the downward spiral of the 3 bad realms. If we still have these, then even if Buddha Amitabha came with all the bodhisattvas from the Pure Land to drag us into the Pure Land, we could not go. There are many examples of people who were able to sever their greed, able to let go. A well-known one is that of Master Inke, a monk who broke many rules, but he had one redeeming quality. He knew that he had committed many bad deeds, and that after he died, he would go to the 3 lower realms. Specifically, he would go to the hell realms. He asked his Dharma brothers what he could do. They showed him a biography of people who had been born into the Western Pure Land. Deeply moved by the accounts and feeling remorseful, he secluded himself in his room, and for 3 days he chanted. He chanted without food, water, or sleep. With deep sincerity of mind, he let go of everything, and he received a response from Buddha Amitabha. Buddha Amitabha came and told him that he still had 10 more years to live, that he needed to practice diligently, and then in 10 years, Buddha Amitabha would come back to escort him into the Western Pure Land. But Master Inke said, "I have many weaknesses. I cannot wait 10 years. Please, I wish to go to the Pure Land now." So Buddha Amitabha came back in 3 days and escorted him to the Pure Land. This example proved what was stated in the Amitabha Sutra, that if we chant from 1 to 7 days, we could definitely achieve. The Pure Land method is easy to practice, so this is not the problem. The problem is whether we truly want to go. If we hung a sign at the entrance to the cultivation hall that said, "After chanting for 3 days, we will go to the Western Pure Land," no one would come to the cultivation hall, because they would think they would all die within 3 days. And very few of us are ready to leave this world. And this is the real reason we do not go to the Pure Land. The sutras tell us that we stay in the cultivation hall to attain one mind undisturbed, which consists of 3 levels, the lowest of which is constant mindfulness of Buddha Amitabha. Reaching at least this level, we can go to the Western Pure Land. Accomplishment of the top level enables us to decide when we will go to the Western Pure Land. At that time, we will go without any illness and may be in a standing or sitting position. Accomplishment of the middle level enables us to know when we will go to the Pure Land a few months in advance. Again, we may be in a standing or sitting position. In the lower level, we will know several days in advance when we will leave, but we may become ill. When some fellow practitioners asked Master what level his teacher, Mr. Lee, had reached, he told them that he knew Mr. Lee had at least reached the top level of constant mindfulness of Buddha Amitabha, because he was able to decide when he would be born into the Western Pure Land. These levels are attainable by everyone. The question is whether we are willing to sincerely and diligently practice. Once we are, we can achieve this level. If we reach constant mindfulness of Buddha Amitabha, can we be born into the Pure Land? Yes, everyone can. Many people were born into the Western Pure Land after a few years of Buddha name recitation. When this happens, does this mean that their life expectancy has been reached? No. It means that they had reached a level of purity of mind that enabled them to be born into the Pure Land. And they had decided to go, not to wait any longer, not to continue suffering in this world any longer. Most people who can go earlier choose to go earlier. Those who choose to wait still have affinities with beings in this world, with beings who accept their teachings and follow their guidance. But if, for example, the practitioner is giving lectures and no one in the audience is sincerely listening and following his or her guidance, then there is no reason to stay. This was the case of Mr. Lee, for although his audience was very large, the few who had been following his guidance were already capable of accomplishment. So he was able to leave. If just one had been following his teaching and still needed his guidance, then he would not have gone. Since their first of the four great vows is to help all sentient beings, Buddhas and Bodhisattvas will not abandon any being, even if that being has harmed, slandered, or even murdered them. In ancient times, way places had 8 hours of cultivation and 8 hours of learning. The Singapore Buddhist Lodge in Singapore has 2 hours of lectures daily and 12 hours of Buddha name recitation every day. But we have not yet attained improvement in our cultivation because we have not yet attained the perfect understanding. And this is why we cannot let go. Only when we have truly seen through to the true reality will we be able to let go. Today, we still have obstacles due to this lack of understanding. Why can we not let go? We are still clinging to something. Because of this clinging, we are still mired, still lost in the cycle of birth and death, still lost in the cycle of reincarnation. Please understand that if we cannot transcend the 6 realms of reincarnation, most of our time will be spent in the lower 3 realms. Why are we born into the animal realm? Because of our ignorance. Greed is the cause of the karma that results in our being born into hungry ghost realm, and anger is the cause of our being born into the hell realms. with enough good karma, we can go to the highest heaven realm of neither thought nor non-thought, where the beings have a lifespan of 80,000 great eons. But we also go to the hell realms, where our lifetimes last infinite eons. And this is why Master Inke was so frightened. And this is why he wanted to leave this world as soon as he could. When we consider the time spent in this world and the time spent in the other realms, our time here is as a flash of lightning, a drop of dew. It is inconsequential. The cycle of birth and death is what is important. The major problem in front of us that we continually ignore. Even awakened beings and our teachers try so hard to teach us, but we do not listen. We do not believe. We do not accept. So although these awakened beings try so hard to help us, we still doubt. We reject their guidance. When will we truly be able to believe and accept their teaching? When we have listened for many years to the teachings, then we will suddenly awaken. Those who can awaken after one lecture are exceptional. They must be Buddhas or Bodhisattvas. Most of us have to listen to a lecture and practice every day. After we listen to the lectures, contemplate the meanings and follow the teachings accordingly. In this way, we will be able to achieve. But today, where can we find a teacher that can give us 8 hours of teaching every day? We cannot. But what we can do is listen to a tape for several hours every day. Do not listen to several different tapes, because by the time we listen to the last tape, we will have forgotten what the first tape said. Listen to one. Focus on only one. If we can continue to do this, then after 3 years, we will be able to attain some level of achievement, some level of concentration, some degree of attainment. After we listen to the lectures and truly understand the teachings, then we will be able to apply the teachings in our daily lives. If our understanding and our cultivation can accord with the teachings, then we will know how to transcend the cycle of birth and death, as well as the 10 realms. The safest way to accomplish this is to seek birth into the Western Pure Land. At breakfast one morning, Fa Zhao, the 4th patriarch of the Pure Land School, looked into his bowl and saw an image. He asked his fellow masters, his fellow Dharma's brothers, what he saw. They told him that it was the 5-platform Utai mountain way place of Manjushri Bodhisattva. He then started to search for that way place. When he found it, he joined 10,000 other beings who were listening to a Dharma talk by Manjushri Bodhisattva. He then asked the Bodhisattva for guidance. Since we are entering the Dharma ending age, what is the best method for us to practice? Manjusri Bodhisattva answered that it was the Pure Land Buddha name recitation method. When the fourth patriarch asked how to practice this method, Manjusri Bodhisattva taught him to chant Ami Tofo. After the fourth patriarch left the way place, he looked back to see it just one more time, but it was gone. He then realized that Manjusri Bodhisattva had come to teach him the most suitable method for our Dharma ending age. Once we go to the Pure Land and meet Buddha Amitabha, we can tell him that we wish to go back to our world and help sentient beings there. For we do not go to the Pure Land for our sake. We go to learn to help other beings. With his help, we will never again be deluded or lost. But if we do not go to the Pure Land to meet Buddha Amitabha, then we will remain deluded. And it is crucial that we understand this. Master Jing Kong has been giving lectures for 40 years. Every week he gave at least 3 talks. Now that he is in Singapore, he is giving a lecture every day. From age 45 to over 50, he spoke at least 30 hours every week. Who benefited the most? He did. He did not miss one lecture, while the audience missed many. He spoke almost every day and urged the audience and thus himself to correct all bad habits. He has been giving Dharma talks continuously for 40 years, and this is why he could cut off his bad habits. This is why he could let go. Fellow practitioners and guests, please listen carefully. The law of cause and effect is unchangeable, immutable. Even Buddhas and Bodhisattvas cannot alter it. Our greed, anger, ignorance, and arrogance have resulted in disasters that are increasing in frequency and severity, and are approaching a scale that is impossible for us to imagine. Everything arises from our minds. But just as we have given rise to the cause of these approaching disasters, we can give rise to an even greater cause that can maybe reduce, possibly prevent it from happening. We need to replace thoughts of self with thoughts of all others. We need to give up feelings of pride, the desires for fame and wealth. We need to let go of the thought of trying to control others. Let go of narrow-mindedness and biased thinking. Let go of blaming, of criticizing, of gossiping. Let go of the thought of those who owe us, of those we owe. We must let go. Only by letting go can we return to purity and equality. Only in this way will our hearts become gentle, our minds become serene, as we give rise to the wisdom to accord with all beings, animate and inanimate. For only with gentle hearts and serene minds will we be able to solve our problems. The goodness that we can bring to others by using our loving kindness, our compassion, is infinite, is boundless. And this is our best way, our only way to bring true peace to our world. Not for ourselves, but for the sake of all sentient beings. Amitabha. Thank you.